Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here and for joining us. If this is your first video, you picked a doozy. Today we're going to talk all about the 400 and 285 interchange, which is a huge transformation and huge traffic benefit, I think, of living here in North Atlanta. So let's get right into it. As I said, if you are looking to make a move to the Atlanta area and you're worried about traffic, this is definitely the right video for you. But if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below, as well as tap the bell for the notifications so you don't miss a single video all about living in North Atlanta, whether it's traffic related, whether it's real estate related. I just want to bring you guys valuable content here, and I think this is super valuable. This is something that's currently happening right now here in June of 2022. Has been on the docket for a little while, and so there's a lot of transformation happening in this area as it relates to traffic. I think it's a little overdue, but what do I know? I'm not a traffic engineer. And of course, one of the major things we hear about in the news nationally and regionally and even locally here is traffic. So want to just give you a little overview and perspective on the idea behind this transformation project, as well as the current state, and of course the future, what everything will look like. So let's get right into it now. All right, so first let's talk about the affected area here. So you can kind of see Georgia 400 running north to south here in the middle, and then 285, the perimeter here running east to west. So the area that we're talking about is really in this general area. So again, you got Roswell Road over here in Sandy Springs, you got Dunwoody over here, Brookhaven over here, but 400, as you all know, if you've been here for a little while, kind of runs up through the middle of the city, up north of the city, and then all the way to the North Georgia mountains, and eventually ends near Dahlonega. 285, of course, as you can see here, runs all the way around the city of Atlanta. And so really we're talking about the top end here, again, referred to as the perimeter. 285 runs all the way around Atlanta. So when we say the top end, we're really talking about like 20 kind of runs right through the middle here. The top end being this like semicircle, half circle around the top here. But really the area we're going to focus on today is about right in here. So Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Brookhaven, Buckhead, all being affected by this directly or indirectly at least. And then of course, a lot of the benefit of this coming for Roswell, Alpharetta, Milton to the north, Buckhead to the south, and of course Midtown and downtown Atlanta. But really, the general area that this is most going to directly impact is pretty much all the way up here to like Spalding Road, even a little bit further north, as you'll see in some of the renderings, as well as the video that we're going to run through here. A ton of it, though, really in this general area. So what you see here today and all of these different bridges and turns and twists that 285 and 400 kind of bring together, you'll see a lot of different changes happening. So, the movements that we're talking about here are, kind of eastbound to northbound. So east on 285 to north on 400, east to south on 400, and then the same thing from the west, moving west rather. So west 285 to 400 north, west through this junction here, and then west to the 400 south. So again, this is going to be the bulk of the area that we're going to be looking at today. But there's some great videos here that Georgia DOT has put out as far as visualizations, what this whole thing will look like. All right, so this is actually a great visualization. This is something Georgia DOT put together. You see the North Springs MARTA station, the MARTA station that's furthest north at this point. You see the very end of it there. But this is actually just the express lane. So just like 75 headed northwest out of Atlanta, these express lanes have elevated and separated lanes, managed lanes, so that if you have the toll pass or the express lane pass, you can use these lanes, and they generally are, graduated or, varying costs depending on the time of the day, the amount of traffic, the volume of traffic, so on and so forth. So we just came past Abernathy and the North Springs MARTA station here. You see Pitts Road there that we just passed over, and so this again is a little bit, this is a totally separate project altogether. So the express lanes, these managed lanes, you know, or what they're proposing at this point. This is not technically part of the project yet, but this is the North Ridge Road here. The next exit up that basically marks the north end of Sandy Springs. You've got Roberts Drive that we're coming up on here. And again, this is 400 headed north. So you're actually headed into Roswell here. So, but this is a great visualization. Again, I don't own this. This is all Georgia DOT, but I think it's super valuable to be able to see, you know, what this is kind of going to look like when it's all said and done, because Georgia 400 is one of the most congested, you know, highways here in the North Metro Atlanta area. So you can see we're kind of crossing over the river here, the Chattahoochee River. So you got Riverside Drive there down to the right, Dogwood Road to the left, and we're making our way up to Holcomb Bridge Road here. So there will be an access bridge just south of Holcomb Bridge to get people into South Roswell there, right on the edge of Sandy Springs. And then this is the Holcomb Bridge interchange where they will make some bus rapid transit as well, which is desperately needed. And then you can kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like further north. Obviously, every like 5 to 10 miles or so, you start to lose a lane. So it goes from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2, and then eventually up near Dahlonega, it basically ends with 2 different lanes there, headed in either direction. All right, and then if we shift to the 285 view, so you can kind of see the top end. This is the top end video. So this kind of starts over on 285, just a little west of 75, comes all the way around to 285 and 85. But I think this is really cool to see because, again, this is, you know, I think this was really well thought out in terms of connecting all of the, you know, north side of Atlanta here. So, you know, we're starting over near Paces Ferry, near Smyrna, Vinings area. You've got the Home Depot headquarters over here to the left. You've got the Truist Field coming up in about another mile or so, but you can again see how all of these lanes are connected. So again, express lanes in purple, the normal travel lanes in the green. So a lot of different access points. You know, you see Mount Wilkinson Parkway. Jeez, I cannot get that out. I haven't had my second cup of coffee yet. But a lot of different access points, more than exists now. And I think that's really important because when you only have an exit, you know, every mile or so, you see Cumberland Boulevard there near Cumberland Mall here just to the right. But when you add access points, you obviously alleviate a lot of the traffic. So if you can imagine having a big funnel with a very tiny hole at the bottom, now we're adding a second funnel basically to more surface streets. So this is Cobb Parkway here, or Highway 41. So we're actually looking east or northeast, and we're coming up here on 75. So you'll see a lot of the different newer lanes that are coming in. This express lane currently exists, but you actually access it right here. So there'll be a second entry point to head northwest here on 75. But again, I think this is pretty well thought out of. Of course, you've got 285 here continuing to the east, which does not exist either currently. So a lot of these toll lanes here are already in place and have existed for now almost a year. So you can see these are reversible. So in the morning, you're headed south on 75, and then around 1:30, 2 o'clock, depending on the day, they'll actually reverse these, and then you'll be heading north out of the city, but also off of 285 here. So, and I can tell you, every time I've been on the northwest express lanes up 75 for, you know, afternoon appointments and stuff, I've never encountered any traffic on the express lane. So I'm super excited about them continuing this idea on 285 because it will make a world of difference. Now, I got to believe a lot more people will use them, but I do think it's going to be a big help to what we currently experience on 285 and 400 alike. So crossing over the Chattahoochee River here, and again, headed east, you can kind of see the little red dot up here to kind of give you a frame of reference for where we are. And again, this is Georgia DOT video. This is not Matt LaMarche's video. So crossing over north side, new north side though here, tons of commercial development in this area, hotels, restaurants, and a lot more development coming. You see Herds Ferry there. One of the best elementary schools here in Sandy Springs, but again, separated, completely blocked off from the main travel lanes, which again, 285, a ton of semi traffic in there, a lot of traffic from semi trucks. So you've got Riverwood High School there to to the north of us there, just outside the perimeter. And then we cross over Raider Drive there. And then we come up to Riverside, which again, everything that you already see here is existing. You've got the double roundabouts there, which is really nice. You've got a little church here, but again, all separate. So if you're making a trip from 75 to 400, you could technically ride on these express lanes, getting out of the normal traffic flow here, which I think is going to be a huge benefit. And when you have these collector lanes that are totally separate, you know, from the normal lanes, it actually cuts down, you know, anywhere from 2 minutes to 22 minutes on your commute time. Crossing over Rawls Road now, coming up on the 400 interchange, and you're going to see a lot of change. If you're from this area or you're living in this area already, you probably have been shocked by what you see here already, because none of this currently exists. So you've got Glen Ridge Connector here, and then you can start to see the evolution of what's, you know, going to be added here, again, just as express lanes. So this doesn't even include the collector commuter lanes that they're going to be putting in, which we'll dig into a little bit deeper here as well. But you've got Johnson's Ferry to the south, you've got Northside Hospital and Pill Hill up here just a little further east of 400, but you can really see the different access points here that you're going to have as it relates to 400 to 285. This is going to really change a lot of different commute times for people, which I think is great. And again, a little overdue at this point, but yeah, this is going to be amazing when it's all done, and I think it's really going to cut down on the amount of traffic that people experience. You've got the King and Queen building here in Sandy Springs with the Westin here, and you can kind of see how this all flows north, you know, out off of 285. So again, if you're making the transition from east or west 285 onto 400, it's going to make things significantly easier. Here you've got Mount Vernon, so you can get off Mount Vernon, take a right, get off Mount Vernon, take a left. You'll also have some express lanes there to connect into Mount Vernon, crossing over Abernathy. We're coming up on the North Springs MARTA station here, and this is kind of where we picked up the last little part of the video here. So now if we start to head south on these express lanes to get back to 285 and make the transition to head east on 285, you'll start to see again all these different lanes kind of coming together, which I think is absolutely amazing. And again, you still have all these main travel lanes. So you see collector lanes that are going to put you off, and we're going to double the number of access points that you have currently, which I think is going to make a huge difference, because the amount of cars, I think it's said that about 250,000 people make their way into Sandy Springs and the Dunwoody perimeter area every single day. So, you know, our population basically doubles here in Sandy Springs every single day, just as a result of commuter traffic. So as we head east here, you've got Perimeter Mall to your left, Perimeter Center Parkway here. You've got the MARTA track that leads to the Dunwoody station there. You've got Ashford, Dunwoody, and again, these are just express lanes. So everything else in the gray is either developed or under development at this moment. So the express lanes will probably be the last piece to this whole puzzle here. But the improvements that they're making ahead of this are already making a massive difference. And, you know, to make the transition from, say, westbound on 285 to north on Georgia 400 to get to like Spalding or even Northridge Parkway is going to be cut down significantly just based on the commuter lanes that they're already adding. So we're coming up on Shamley, Dunwoody here over in like North Brookhaven, South Dunwoody, kind of along the perimeter border here. And again, you see over, under, just about any way they can get these lanes in there. These express lanes in purple is really their main objective or goal. So you got Shallowford, you got Peachtree, coming up on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard or 141. Again, a nice little transition here. If you're gonna make, you know, a couple of these exits, you see some of these clover leaves still in place. Those will still be active. But again, we're talking express lanes. So going from say 75 to 85, literally staying on here, I mean, during normal peak traffic, you are going to save a ton of time by having this in place. And again, if you're only commuting, you know, one way in, one way out, this is going to save a ton of time for everyone that uses these roads. Coming up on Spaghetti Junction, this is 85 headed north and south, and then 285. So you see the managed lanes or the express lanes here in purple again, headed east and headed west. Really going to save a ton of time here. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful, and I appreciate you guys following along. Leave me a comment down below. I mean, everyone complains about Atlanta traffic, but if you don't live here, it is definitely something you should know about and should be aware of. But you know, it is getting better, and especially with COVID, you know, we had a ton of people working from home, and still have several people that will never go back to an office. But certainly, as commute times have gotten longer and longer and longer, this will be a great project to help mitigate, hopefully, a lot more of those commute times, make them a lot shorter, a lot sweeter, and you won't spend quite as much time in your car. You can actually go out and play in North Metro Atlanta. So anyway, again, leave me a comment down below. Would love to hear what traffic looks like in your area. Are there any major projects like this taking place in your area? And if you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta area, specifically North Atlanta, anywhere there, feel free to reach out. All of our contact information is down below. As always, you can text, call, email, even schedule a Zoom call where we can hop on a video just like this and chat about your search and making a smooth move here to the Atlanta area. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.